Last time we learned something strange about your own body. Almost every cell you have is replaced over the years. The skin you're wearing right now is just a few weeks old. The you from 7 years ago is, physically, almost entirely gone. So here's a question that should keep you up at night. If your skin is constantly being rebuilt, why doesn't your tattoo disappear with it? Why is it still here, in the same spot, sharp and clear, decades later? The answer isn't that the ink just sits there. The answer is a hidden, lifelong battle happening inside your skin right now. We think of a tattoo as permanent because the ink is permanent, static, frozen, like paint dried on a wall. But that's not what's happening. The permanence of a tattoo is actually an illusion, a masterful one, created by your immune system working overtime to protect you. To see how, we have to go just under the surface. When a tattoo needle goes to work, it punches thousands of tiny holes, dropping ink past the outer layer of skin and into the deeper layer, the dermis, and that's the key. The outer layer sheds and renews. The dermis is far more stable, but your body doesn't know its art. It only knows one thing. Something foreign just broke in. Alarm. Your body sends in its cleanup crew, specialized white blood cells called macrophages. The name literally means big eater, and that's their whole job. They rush to anything foreign, surround it, and swallow it whole to get rid of it. So a macrophage arrives, opens wide, and engulfs the ink. Normally, that's the end of the story. The invader gets digested and broken down. But ink is different. The pigment particles are too large and too chemically stable to break apart. The macrophage swallows the ink, and then simply can't destroy it. So it does the next best thing. It holds on. It traps the ink inside itself and just stays put. And when thousands of these cells freeze in place, each holding its pigment, the ink stops being a random splash. It becomes a stable image, visible right through your skin. That's your tattoo, not paint on a wall. Captured prisoners, held in formation. Now here's the part that genuinely blew my mind. Because this isn't a one-time event. It's not, catch the ink, done forever. Remember, your cells die and get replaced. Macrophages are no exception. They live, they age, and eventually they die. So what happens to the ink when its jailer dies? It gets released, right back out into the surrounding tissue. For a brief moment, the prisoner is free. Alarm again. And instantly, a fresh macrophage arrives and swallows it all over again. Capture, release, recapture. Over and over and over. It's a biological relay race that never stops. One cell passes the ink to the next like runners handing off a baton for years, for decades. Every tattoo you've ever seen is being actively maintained in real time by an immune system that thinks it's still fighting an invasion. It can never win. And here's the beautiful twist that connects back to our first video. Your tattoo doesn't survive despite your body constantly replacing itself. It survives because of it. The cells change, the handoff continues, the picture stays. It's not perfect, by the way. Over many years, the handoff isn't flawless. A little ink drifts, and that's why old tattoos look soft and slightly blurred, not static, living, always moving, just slowly enough to look still. Which finally explains something that used to confuse me. Laser tattoo removal. Most people picture the laser as a kind of eraser that wipes the ink away. But it can't. The ink is locked inside living cells, and the particles are too big to flush out. That's the whole reason the tattoo was permanent in the first place. So the laser doesn't erase anything. It does something cleverer. It fires energy that shatters those big, stable pigment particles into tiny fragments. And that is the move. Once the ink is small enough, your body can finally do what it wanted to do all along. Your immune and lymphatic systems carry the tiny pieces away and clear them out. The laser doesn't beat your body. It just gives your body the one thing it was missing, pieces small enough to win. So the next time you see a tattoo, yours or anyone's, remember what you're really looking at. Not a static mark, a snapshot of an invisible, decades-long effort. Thousands of cells living and dying and handing off a fight they'll never finish just to hold one image in place for you. We started by asking how anything can last when the body that holds it is always changing, and the answer turned out to be strangely comforting. Some things last not because they stay frozen, but because something keeps choosing again and again to carry them forward. Your body isn't a thing. It's a process, a masterpiece of motion that only looks still. So I'll leave you with this. What's a fact about your own body that completely changed how you see it? Tell me in the comments. I read them, and the best ones might become the next video. If this rewired your brain a little, subscribe and stick around. There's a lot more going on inside you than you think.